Hello everyone. Today we are going to start with yet another series of one of the law's major subject, which is law and social transformation. इस सब्जेक्ट के अंतर्गत the very first question that we are going to discuss today is religion a divisive factor in our country? क्या धर्म देश के लिए एक विभाजक तत्व है? साथ ही साथ हम ये समझने की कोशिश करेंगे कि क्या पंथ निरपेक्ष नीति से देश की प्रगति संभव है? इस नीति से विधि में सुधार के मार्ग की बाधाओं के बारे में हम विवेचना करेंगे। Is progress of the country possible through secularism? And we'll try to explain the obstacles in reform of law under this policy. So in order to start with, we have to understand the main points, how to deal with this point. तो आज़ादी की शताब्दियों पूर्व धार्मिक उन्माद रहा और धर्म को संकुचित करने का दृष्टिकोण अपनाया गया था। So in ancient India, people and the communities fought for the religion, and at the same time they preferred unity and harmony in the society. Religious fanaticism prevailed, but not so deep, but it affected the society not as a whole. The question is whether religion unite the various communities or destroys this. अब प्रश्न यही उठता है कि रिलीजन क्या करती है, बांटती है या यूनाइट करती है कम्युनिटीज़ को. The priority of our sect and religion always credited this disharmony in the society, and thus conflicts and struggle took place. The preamble of our constitution says, after a great struggle against the British India regime, India wins freedom in 1947 and gave shape to our constitution. Preamble of constitution sets out the main objectives to be achieved. There was a commitment to secure social, economic and political justice, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and opportunity, and to promote fraternity. Thus, it was a direction to go on that line which leads brotherhood, no fraction and no division among the people by any reason of religion. तो हमारा जो संविधान है उसके प्रियम्बल में ये स्पष्ट तौर से कहा गया था कि हम रिलीजन को बांटने की जो बेस है फाउंडेशन में नहीं रखते. उसकी वजह से किसी भी तरह का बंटवारा, किसी भी तरह का भेदभाव नहीं किया जाएगा. After the Constitution's 42nd Amendment Act in 1976, the words sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic inserted. In a case of Keshwanand Bharati versus State of Kerala, CJ Sikri observed, preamble of our constitution is of extreme importance in the light of grand and noble vision expressed in the preamble. The words of the preamble of the constitution construct the basic feature or basic structure of the constitution, and the words of Sikri, CJ, and his observation about the utmost importance of preamble's words has greater importance. तो सीजे चीफ जस्टिस सीकरी ने क्लियरली केशवानंद भारती केस में कहा था कि जो प्रियम्बल ऑफ आवर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया है वो हमारे बेसिक फीचर का एक संरक्षक है या उसका एक आईना है. सो डिक्लेरेशन ऑफ सेक्युलरिज्म एंड फर्मनेस ऑन दिस concept is the key of face religious fanaticism or so-called religious emotions and instinct. This is the policy, this is the strategy against the ill spirit of religious phenomena. It can be checked out through the policy of secularism. Now the whole problem of religion was tried to be sorted out with the help of secularism. Secularism means a state which does not recognize any religion as a state religion. The state is totally impartial with regard to religion. All religions are equal in the eyes of state. The concept of secularism was already implicit in the Constitution. As a declaration and preamble, which needs liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship. At the same time, Articles 25 to 28 of the Constitution guarantee to every person freedom of conscience and right to profess, practice, and propagate religion. In case of St. Xavier College versus State of Gujarat, the court held that the constitution makers wanted to establish such a secular state, and accordingly Article 25 to 28 have been included in the Constitution. Thus it gives freedom of religion and there can be no confrontation in the name of the religion. India is a secular state. It is a good policy of state to be secular in context of religion. At the same time, the state has the power to check religious fanaticism through its firm hands. It is the state to check such tendencies which harm the nation's unity and solidarity. Religion cannot be divisive factor. In the light of fair thinking in religious matters, it is the duty of the state to be impartial in religious affairs and no permission and need to take biased attitude towards various communities. It creates harmony and unity in various communities of the society. In the case of riots, the state has to act with determination and firmness, so it will not create chaos and anarchy in the country, and there shall be no division of any kind. The reform of law on secular lines deals with the essence of secularism is non-discrimination of people by the state on the basis of religious difference. Secularism can be practiced by adopting a complete neutral approach towards religion. Gandhiji said, the real meaning of secularism is Sarva Dharma Sambhav, that is, equal treatment and respect for all religion. It is the duty of the state to reform law on secular basis. Article 25(1) declares a person has twofold freedom: freedom of conscience and secondly, freedom to profess, practice and propagate religion. On the basis of some conservative elements opposing the reform of law in secular lines, examples in this reference are Uniform Civil Code. Article 44 requires the state secure for citizens a uniform civil code throughout the territory of India. The court directed the Union government to do the needful in the case Sarla Mudgal versus Union of India. So many hindrances are there in this regard, but action was taken as yet. Why? because it is opposed by the minority community. Again, there is a case of divorced Muslim woman, Noor Sabah Khatun versus Muhammad Qasim. Court made it clear that claim of maintenance of divorced women's children is absolute and unconditional. Problems in reforms. The government is cautious with regard to the reforms of law on secular basis. There are some problems and hindrances in the line of reform. The rigid and conservative attitude of various communities is one of them. Number 2, the lack of education in those communities. Number 3, not ready to accept the reforms. Number 4, government is not keen to take a radical step. Number 4, lack of awareness on the part of community. These problems are serious and put great hindrance on the path of law reforms. Yet, it is high time to solve the problems in right direction. Here are some suggestions to solve these problems and make a smooth way of reforms in law in a progressive manner. The one number is government should be firm on the policy of secularism. Secondly, make the mind of opponents, but steady, gradual and sincere efforts from all sectors are essential. Third, efforts are essential of public movement in this respect. Fourth, nationwide consensus should be developed with regards to reforms. And fifth and last one is to activate public opinion. In this regard, media can take active part, as it is already going on nowadays. So, student, this was a gist of the very matter which was in discussion, whether the religion is a divisive factor in our country or not. I hope from this lecture you will be able to sort out some important points to help you out in making your notes and understanding the real problems and how to face them as concerned to India. So keep learning and keep watching for new videos. Fourth, God bless you all. Bye bye for now.